Happy New Year. I hope yours is off to a great start. We all love new beginnings, right? Out with the old and in with the new is a familiar motto for ringing in a new year. But not much has changed. You're still estranged from someone you care about, a child, grandchild, sibling, or someone else. You're hoping that this may be the year it all turns around. The relationship is healed and restored. No more heartache. Same song, but different verse. Well, I want to encourage you to shift your mindset and open to the possibility of new beginnings, whether or not that happens. The truth is that relationship may never be restored. It feels like a sore that never heals. Well, let's explore some encouragement and hope to make this a truly blessed and hopeful year for you. Find the full transcript for this episode, plus resources for women at estrangement, turning pain into peace at beckykolb.com/20. You're listening to Estrangement, Turning Pain into Peace, a podcast and free resource for women with estranged relationships, created by me, host and coach Becky Kolb. My superpower is to help you turn your emotional pain into peace by conquering guilt and shame, rebuilding self-confidence, and developing healthy boundaries. I've dealt with estranged relationships most of my life and know both the pain and the peace. Subscribe to this podcast so you don't miss a thing. Now, let's dive into today's episode. I talk with some women who hold on to hope that their loved one will find a way back into their life, that they'll miss you and desire to have a relationship again. And then others tell me they've lost all hope. The estrangement has lasted so long, they're sure it will never heal. Sadness is the familiar clothing they wear every day. Depression may take root unless a sprout of hope peeks through the soil. Hope is the healing balm to get you started on your new beginnings. But it isn't easy to have hope when you obsess over the lost relationship. So stop obsessing. Really, quit thinking about it. Let it go. That's the only way you're going to begin to move forward. And that is the goal, isn't it? Shift your mindset. Now, here are a few things you can dwell on to get you started. Name 3 things that you're grateful for today. I know people say gratitude is attitude, but it's true. So think about those 3 things. What 3 things happened last year that were positive and encouraging? Where would you like to go on vacation? Start doing some research and finding facts. Identify 3 relationships that bring you happiness. List 2 accomplishments last year that make you proud. Everyone has talents, things that they're good at. Name at least 2 for you. If you can't think of one, what do other people say you're good at? And then what hobby do you genuinely enjoy so much that you can just get lost in it? Well, that should keep you busy for a bit. Write this down in a journal and name it New Beginnings. Do you have a journal? I've been writing in one for a few years now. My mornings usually begin quietly as I am an early riser. Armed with a cup of coffee and my YouVersion Bible app, I sit in my favorite chair. If I'm particularly anxious or bothered, I write it in my journal beside today's date. And then I read my Bible verses and devotional. And almost 100% of the time, God speaks to what I wrote. Either He gives me a unique perspective or assurance that He'll help me through it. Sometimes journaling is short, and other times it may be several pages. Depends on what all is going on. I love to go back and read some of the earlier ones and see where God answered prayers or helped me through a challenging situation. Sometimes what I worried about most never came to fruition. Some people like to keep a gratitude journal, writing daily things that make them feel grateful. I encourage you to begin this process if you haven't already. It's a reliable source of hope and encouragement. Hope, daily meditation, or quiet time and journaling sets the stage for a huge mind shift that will give you the new beginnings you seek. Back to the estranged relationship for a minute. Are you familiar with Mel Robbins? I listen to her podcast from time to time, and she's authored a book entitled Let Them. The message is simple. Your child or someone close has chosen not to have a relationship with you. Let them. Your coworker is annoying, loud, and full of drama. Let them. A parent is critical of every decision you make. Let them. A friend has betrayed confidence you ask them to keep. Let them. You see where this is going, right? You can't control anyone else. The sooner you learn that, the happier you'll be. Now, that doesn't mean you subject yourself to any of it. Let them be who they are, and you choose how you will be. Your child has rejected you. Okay, let them move on. Don't waste any more time worrying about it because it will do nothing to reconcile the relationship. In fact, moving on with your life will help them see you're not sulking over them. I don't intend that to be taken the wrong way. You love them. You desire a relationship. They don't. So until that changes, you move on. Enjoy life. Adopt this mindset, and you'll begin to see positive changes in you, and so will those around you. No one said you must carry all the blame and shame. Even if you had a part in the estrangement, hopefully you've tried to make amends. And if that doesn't go well, you're done until they change. You'll need to identify some boundaries to keep that sprout of new beginnings growing. I don't know the details of your estranged relationship, but think of the things that make you sad or mad. Do they text hurtful messages? Let them, knowing that if that continues, you'll be blocking them for a while, and then do it. Do you reach out and they ignore you? Stop reaching out. They've given you the clear message that they don't want to communicate. Does a coworker or someone you trust betray confidence? Learn the lesson and don't share personal information with them anymore. Is someone constantly critical of you? Tell them that you'll no longer listen to their criticism and then create distance where you can. It's hard to create distance with family, but sometimes it's necessary. Take steps to protect your mental health. You get the point. You take control of you and your emotions because they're the only ones you can do anything about. One final thing. Don't you dare allow yourself or anyone to tell you that you're being rude or unreasonable by setting boundaries. The only ones that will be upset about them are the ones that had none before, and they were running roughshod over your emotions. Enough. Earlier, I asked you to write some things in a journal, things that made you happy, people that you were grateful for, accomplishments that made you proud. When you're alone and complete that project, work your way through the other points covered today, and then go back to that list. You're coming full circle in the quest for new beginnings, and now you'll be able to focus on those attributes more carefully. Formulate a plan to spend more time with those on your list. That hobby that you can get lost in, do more of that. Take a new hobby you've been considering. Research that ideal vacation spot and find out as much as you can about it. Start a file and then decide to schedule the trip. New beginnings are just a phrase to some that will fade in the first few weeks of the new year. If you genuinely want that change and to break free from guilt, shame, worry, and sadness over relationships you can't control, commit to this strategy and watch it unfold for you. If you've read my story, you know of my estrangement with a son and his family. You can read it at beckykolb.com/guide/download. We've had a relationship, but it was shallow, and it came to a head this past year when he admitted some things and finally agreed that it was broken. Toward the end of the year, we began texting, and so I told him that I was confused about where things stood. Hopefully, he had made some progress in dealing with his own issues because he said that as far as he was concerned, we were good. I was happy that he had come to that place. It's a start, and I'll take it. New beginnings for a reconciled relationship between us. Do you have a story to share? I would love to hear it. You can send it to me at becky@beckykolb.com. Are you ready for new beginnings this year? ones that go beyond a few weeks. I would love to help you if you're stuck. Reach out to me at beckykolb.com/work-with-Becky. Happy New Year to you, and here's to new beginnings. Thanks for listening to Estrangement, Turning Pain into Peace. Estrangement is a difficult topic for many, and I applaud you for tuning in. Don't forget to check out earlier episodes too, and please share this with others who may need to hear. And if you're getting value, I would appreciate a short review.